Step 5. Digits 6 to 7. Chaos and spiritual awakening. If your birth year ends in 6 or 7, your life may be marked by moments of intense confusion, followed by moments of clarity that shook your soul awake. You may have often wondered, why do I feel things so deeply? Why does the world around me seem louder, more chaotic, and more spiritually urgent? There is a deeper pattern. These digits aren't just numbers. They reflect divine metaphors that have always been present in the Qur'an. Digit 6. Divine order in apparent chaos. Allah created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. Surah Al-A'raf 7:54. Not because He needed time, Allah simply says be, and it is. But to teach us something. Process has purpose. Chaos is not a random. The number 6, in its essence, reminds us that even when things seem chaotic, in our personal lives or globally, there is always a divine plan unfolding with precision. Many people born in years ending in 6, like 1996, 2006, came of age during political upheaval, moral confusion, and spiritual noise. Social media, AI, identity crisis, all have blurred lines between truth and illusion. But those who pause, reflect, and remember Allah begin to see fitna, trials, as filters, separating what's true from what's false. Memshad, digit 7, the layers of reality. The number 7 holds immense spiritual power in Islam. 7 heavens, 7 earths, 7 verses in Surah Al-Fatiha, 7 rounds in Tawaf around the Kaaba, Surah Al-Mulk 67.3, invites us to look again and again and again, up to 7 times, to witness the perfection of Allah's creation. He who created the 7 heavens, one above another. Then look again. Can you see any flaw? This number speaks to those born with an intense spiritual sensitivity. People who see through surface layers, ask difficult questions, and eventually arrive at deep conviction. Chaos as a catalyst. Real story. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the world didn't just experience physical loss. It experienced a spiritual shakeup. By 2022, record numbers of people reverted to Islam. Thousands testified that the isolation, fear, and global instability made them question what really matters. In the UK alone, revert centers reported over 5,000 new shahadas in the 18 months after the pandemic. Some were born in 1997, others in 2007. All different, but the same search. If the world is so broken, who can guide me through it? And the answer they found was Islam. These digits reflect an urgent modern calling. To wake up while others are still asleep. To see fitna not as doom, but as the final test before truth triumphs. Chaos doesn't mean loss. Sometimes, Allah breaks your plans to awaken your soul. Are you born in a year ending in 6 or 7? Have global events sparked a deeper search in you? Share your awakening. Step 6. Digits 8 to 9. Legacy and Akhirah. Focus. If your birth year ends in 8 or 9, you may carry an invisible weight. The weight of thinking long term. What will remain after me? What truly matters in the end? These aren't random thoughts. They are divinely inspired reflections, pulling your heart toward the Akhirah hereafter, where everything is made clear. Digit 8, the infinite and the eternal. The shape of the number 8 is often associated with eternity. And in Islam, it mirrors a deep truth. This life is temporary. The next is forever. And the life of this world is nothing but play and amusement. But far better is the house in the hereafter for those who are mindful of Allah. Surah Al-An'am 6-32. Those born in years ending in 8 are often drawn to long-term impact. Family, knowledge, charity, and decisions that ripple beyond death. You may feel a pull toward building, not just surviving, to do something that outlives you. That's not a coincidence. It's part of your divine story. Digit 9, completion and legacy. As the final digit, 9 symbolizes closure. It asks, what will be the final chapter of your story? In Islamic tradition, how we end matters as much as how we begin. The Prophet said, "Verily, deeds are judged by their endings." Sahih Bukhari. If your year ends in 9, you may have felt an urgency from a young age. A feeling that time is limited, that you must leave a trace, that your days have to count. Real life inspiration. The legacy of Muhammad Ali. Born in 1942, ends in 2, and died in 2016, ends in 6. Muhammad Ali was more than a boxing legend. He was a symbol of truth, justice, and Islamic pride. And he used his fame to speak boldly about faith. He once said, "I don't count my sit-ups. I only start counting when it starts hurting. Because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion. And more importantly, service to others is the rent you pay for your room in heaven." His legacy lives on, not just in history books, but in hearts. You don't need to be famous to leave a legacy. You only need to be sincere. Every act done for Allah, a smile, a prayer, a shared meal, is a seed in Jannah. If your birth year ends in 8 or 9, you may be someone chosen to focus on what's coming next, not just what's now. You may feel deeply moved when attending a janazah, when seeing injustice, or when thinking of your last breath. That's not fear. That's awakening. If your number is near the end, ask yourself, what legacy will I leave behind when it's all over? Does your dream include legacy? If your year ends in 8 or 9, what do you want written in your book of deeds? Let's reflect. Step 7. Conclusion plus call to action. So, what does the last digit of your birth year really mean? On the surface, it's just a number. But in Islam, no moment is meaningless. Allah says, "We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves." Surah Fussilat 41:53. Your birth year may not determine your destiny, but it can reflect the era you were born into, the trials, the purpose, and the light you were meant to carry. Whether your number pointed to chaos, transformation, patience, or legacy, let it remind you, you were not born by chance. You were born by divine design. You were born not by chance, but by divine design. Use your number as a reminder to live with purpose. Which digit spoke to you most? Let's start a real conversation about destiny, identity, and faith below. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Have you ever stopped to wonder? Why were you born in that exact year? Could the last digit of your birth year carry a hidden message about your soul, your trials, or your purpose in life? Now, let's be clear. Islam doesn't believe in superstition, but it does teach that everything happens for a reason, and that signs from Allah, known as ayat, are everywhere, even in the patterns of time itself. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The believer sees with the light of Allah." That means we're not just meant to exist, we're meant to reflect. In today's world, people are turning to astrology, AI algorithms, and personality tests to find meaning in their lives. But Islam calls us to something deeper, a form of reflection called the tafakkur, where we seek divine wisdom in the world around us. Numbers are not random. They mark time, and time itself belongs to Allah. Allah says in the Qur'an, "Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, are signs for those of understanding." 3:190. So what if the last digit of your birth year wasn't just a number, but a signal, a reminder of your path, your patterns, your test? This might just shock you. You were born in a year for a reason. What if the last digit of your birth year hints at a spiritual pattern you've been missing? What's the last digit of your birth year? Drop it below and tell us. Have you noticed any repeated patterns or life phases tied to it? Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you and good video. Step 2. Digits 0, 1. Endings and beginnings. Let's begin where it all begins, with 0 and 1. These aren't just digits. In the deeper Islamic sense, they represent nothingness before creation, and the first spark of existence, the bridge between the unseen and the known. Digit 0, the void before creation. 0 is the symbol of the unseen, of what existed before anything was created. The Qur'an reminds us in Surah Al-Insan, "Has there not come upon man a period of time when he was not a thing, even mentioned?" Qur'an 76:1. You were once nothing, yet Allah shaped you, designed you, and brought you into a world already moving. Digit 0 symbolizes that sacred emptiness, not absence, but potential. Today, around the world, we see real-life echoes of this meaning. In Gaza, Sudan, and other war-torn regions, children born in 2020, a year ending in 0, came into the world amidst ashes. Their first cries rose from rubble and fire. But still, they were born. They are signs of hope, of beginnings that rise even after total loss. If your birth year ends in 0, you may be someone who often finds themselves starting from scratch, losing everything, then being rebuilt, falling, then rising. You may have had to find meaning in empty places. Digit 1, the call to Tawheed. Then comes 1, the first, the singular, the foundation. It echoes the most important truth in Islam. Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. Say, He is Allah, who is one. Surah Al-Ikhlas, 112:1. Digit 1 is a spiritual restart button. Those born in years ending in 1 often describe big turning points in their lives. Moments when everything stopped, then started again. This time, more rooted in purpose. It might have been a shift from disbelief to faith. A new job after failure. A new life after a toxic one. Why? Because 1 is a pillar. It forces you to rebuild your identity from a solid foundation, starting with your Creator. Many reverts to Islam, for example, describe their conversion like this: I had to lose everything to find Allah. That's the power of 1. Whether your life has been filled with emotional resets, new chapters, or even hard stops, followed by re-emergence, the number might not be the cause, but it might be part of the divine rhythm you were placed inside. Allah is Al-Badi, the originator, and the origin always starts with 0 and 1. Have you faced repeated new beginnings? It might be a divine cycle inviting you to reconnect with your origin, your fitra. If your birth year ends in 0 or 1, have you often had to start over? In faith, work, or relationships? Let us hear your journey. Step 3. Digits 2, 3, trials, and tawakkul. If your birth year ends in 2 or 3, you may have noticed a recurring theme in your life: trials. But Islam teaches us that every trial carries a hidden mercy. Number digit 2. Duality, ease and hardship. The number 2 symbolizes duality, opposites that define one another: light and darkness, joy and sorrow, gain and loss.
And in the Qur'an, Allah gives us this timeless truth. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Surah Ash-Shashar 94:6. Notice the wording. Not after hardship, but with it. That means your struggles and your ease were written together. People born in years ending in 2 often find themselves in cycles of loss followed by breakthrough, pain followed by clarity. One moment you're falling, the next you're being carried. It's as if your life is a living ayah reminding you to trust in Allah's balance. Digit 3. The 3 trials. The number 3 holds deep symbolic weight in Islamic tradition. Allah says, "And we will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives and fruits. But give good tidings to the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:155. These trials come in various forms. Some struggle financially. Others fight battles with their health. Many endure fear of loss, of the unknown, of abandonment. But each one of these tests is a door. Behind it is not punishment, but purification. And the key to that door? Tawakkul, complete trust in Allah. Real story. Tawakkul in action. In February 2023, a massive earthquake struck southern Turkey and parts of Syria, killing tens of thousands and leaving millions displaced. Amidst the rubble, cameras captured something extraordinary. Survivors praying among collapsed buildings, reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, making sujood on broken streets. These weren't just survivors. They were witnesses of tawakkul. They had lost everything, yet they turned immediately to Allah, not with complaints, but with certainty that He knew what they did not. That is the essence of these digits, resilience through reliance. If your birth year ends in 2 or 3, perhaps you were placed in life situations that taught you one of the hardest yet most beautiful lessons in Islam. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power nor strength except with Allah. You weren't tested to be broken. You were tested to be built. Tawakkul means trusting Allah, not the result. If you were born in a year ending in 2 or 3, what test shaped your faith the most? Tell us below. Step 4, digits 4, 5. Transformation and taqwa. Some people aren't just part of change, they are the change. If your birth year ends in 4 or 5, you might be someone who has either witnessed or sparked major transformations in yourself, your family, or even your society. These 2 digits point toward the soul's journey from structure to surrender, and eventually to taqwa, God consciousness. Digit 4, seeking stability in an unstable world. The number 4 represents structure and orientation. The 4 directions, north, south, east,
West, the four classical elements: earth, water, fire, air, and even the four seasons. But in Islam, we're reminded that true stability doesn't come from the world. It comes from Allah alone. People born with this digit often crave balance, yet their lives are marked by sudden disruptions, forcing them to recenter spiritually. The Qur'an teaches this powerful principle. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. You may be someone who had to change everything: your mindset, your environment, your behavior, before your life began to shift. Sometimes, Allah shakes the ground beneath us, not to destroy us, but to rebuild us stronger. Digit 5. Structure, submission, and the pillars of Islam. The number 5 is deeply symbolic in Islam. 5 daily prayers, 5 pillars of Islam, 5 fingers, symbolic of action and will. This digit is about discipline, devotion, and most importantly, internal structure. It's a digit for people who don't just talk about change, they live it. In 2024, a noticeable wave of young Muslim revivalists emerged across the Western world. From Los Angeles to London, university students and digital influencers began reshaping the narrative, rejecting nihilism and materialism, and returning to Qur'an, Salah, and identity. Many of them were born in 2004 or 2005. Coincidence? Or were these souls written to awaken in the exact time their transformation would ripple outward? Another pattern? A surprising number of reverts come into Islam at ages ending in 5, 25, 35, 45, often after a life-changing event like divorce, loss, or success that felt hollow. For many, that 5 becomes a marker, before Islam and after Islam. Whether your transformation came through pain, clarity, or spiritual hunger, these digits remind you that real change is internal first, and faith is the true compass. As Allah says, "And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out." Surah At-Talaq 65:2. Transformation begins inside. Are you resisting change or becoming who Allah meant you to be? Born in a year ending with 4 or 5, what has been the biggest transformation in your life, spiritually or socially?